Ocho.
And it's the Tree Podcast, baby. So before we get started, we're just gonna do some quick takes around the league. And my take is Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Mm.
Let me explain real
That's
quick.
definitely arguable. Either one. My quick take is I fucking hate the Bears. But it's a work in progress. It would have been nice if we won that game, but it takes time. You know what I'm saying? Trust the process.
My take is I think people should relax on Lamar Jackson just a little bit. He's been probably the most scrutinized player in the league, so I think people should just chill out a little bit.
Get that man paid.
Yep.
He ain't lying. That's a good transition because you're talking about scrutinizing players, and one quarterback who's been scrutinized probably since he got drafted has been Tua Tagovailoa. All right, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna try to say that better. But Tua, do you believe in Tua, Rudy?
He looked very good, very capable this past week and the week before that. But I'm gonna need to see more. I need to see consistency, because that's really the a key mark of a franchise quarterback is consistency. Can you lead your team to victory every single week?
I mean, that's true. I believe into a little bit. Like I heard Fitzpatrick on a show earlier. He says that he believes that in order to be a top 10 quarterback, you need to be able to do something better than, like one thing better than any other quarterback. And he said that Tua is good at anticipating and accuracy. So he was accurate, but I feel like a couple times the Ravens just got caught lacking in a way. So I don't, I'm like on the verge of believing and not believing on him. So
I'm an Alabama stan, so the Tuas of the world, the Jalen Hurts, the Mac Jones, obviously. Like I'm always root for our quarterbacks, AJ McCarron. But would you say it was more Waddle and Waddle and Hill, or Tua's really improving?
I could say Tua's definitely improving. He's been the last 6 games of last year. He had I believe it was like a 101 QB rating. So there's definitely been like signs of improvement throughout the season. And I feel like all like new QBs do need like a pro level, star level type of receiver like Tyreek or Waddle. Like those two, like two of the fastest guys. All the Ravens did. I mean, all the Dolphins did was my two fastest guys against your guys, and they won the race. So, but one thing is, like, he has 6 touchdowns, and there are quarterbacks that, no matter how many touchdowns they had, they next year they'll falter. So, just for example, Nick Foles had 7 touchdowns. He won a QB, but I mean he did win a Super Bowl, but that wasn't with that team. And then Mitch Trubisky had 6 touchdowns. So like, it does happen to just random quarterbacks, and depends given the day, but. I'm just saying that we'll see what happens with time.
Edison, more Waddle and Hill, or is Tua improving?
I think it's I think it's more Waddle and Hill, to be honest, because if you look back at film, there were a couple underthrown balls, but again, that's I think is I don't know, like I feel like the defense was just lacking the whole time, like they were just playing like last days ago or whatever. But um, it does help for Tua to have maybe the best receiving duo in the league, and Waddle and Tyreek. So they both had like I think over
Can I ask a
a
question?
buck something.
Does this game hurt Lamar's efforts in getting paid?
I don't think so. He's what the offense scored over 30.
Yeah.
It's literally the defense, but because it's Lamar Jackson, they want to pin all the fucking scrutiny on him. So I think it's just
Because like he had a couple drives at the end that didn't where they weren't able to convert downs and stuff. So it really I think it low key hurts them a little bit, but maybe it was just like one of those games that uh Mahomes or Allen has where like this is his coming out party. This is Tua's coming out party.
I think it's just a defense.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
I feel
exactly.
especially in this generation of football, like defense is like it's not really that important anymore. That's
It's
what I
just
think.
like who could outscore the other
Yeah.
team the
So.
most with the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry, I would never bench you again, even on your bye week. You're gonna be my
Tough.
starting quarterback in fantasy. It's amazing so far. Like we're 2 weeks in. There's been so many surprises, so many great games already, bro. Who has been one of the biggest surprise team for you, Edison and Rudy?
I'm gonna go with the Giants. The Giants caught me by surprise. Daniel Jones has been playing not great, but just enough for him to win. I just have questions about other players on the team. Kadarius Toney. What is his other name?
Uh,
Kenny Galladay.
Kenny Galladay.
Like, how come they're in rotation? Kadarius Toney is a walking touchdown. Like, once he has the ball in his hand, he can be going for a score any second. And I'm glad Barkley is healthy. I'm not just saying that because I picked him up in fantasy, but I'm just hoping he stays healthy for his sake and for my sake.
I say one of the most surprising teams. It's not really. I wouldn't say surprising in a sense like I feel like people saw it coming, but for them to finally click, I think it's the Chargers. Okay. I feel like the Chargers like a real threat now. Like I think people weren't taking them serious. They weren't taking them as serious.
I love their defense.
But yeah, especially their defense. I feel like people are gonna start taking the Chargers more serious now, especially after that game.
When we talk about surprises, we have to talk about the opposite as well, disappointments. So what teams thus far has been disappointments?
The Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals because they spent so much money on that offensive line. And Burrow consistently is getting sacked. He's been the most sacked quarterback last year, and he's on track to get 101 sacks this year. 6 sacks last week and 6 sacks this week. So, like, I just feel bad for Burrow. It feels like my son, like, I'm just scared for him. He has so much potential. I feel like I'm just scared because, like, another Andrew Luck situation. Like, he's so good. They can't. But I feel like they'll figure it out, hopefully. Like, all this money spent. Like, I just hope they figure it out.
For me, it was only, like, just this week because I was watching the games. And it's not surprising, but it's surprising, like, how the Browns lost. Like, the Browns... The Jets were starting a backup quarterback. I know it's Joe Flacco, but you were supposed to win. It was gonna be the first time since like 1996 that they would be like 2-0. Yeah. So like the way they lost, it was actually surprising. Even though it's the Browns, it was still like surprising how they lost. There was up so many points and then they just fumbled.
You think that more to the Browns or the Jets?
The Browns. Because the Browns, like the way in football, like the way that they were losing, like the way that the game was like going away from them, like the plays that was happening, it was like that shit never happens in football statistically. So.
Y'all see me with the Patriots pillow right here. That's because we won, baby. You already know. And y'all gonna say, what about Devontae Parker? He's a disappointment. Give it time. Give it time. He's getting acclimated. You can see Mac Jones like him. We want to get him the ball. Pause. He's going to get there.
I like the other receiver you guys got.
Which one? Nelly?
No.
Aguilar.
Oh, Jacoby.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Undrafted. I remember.
Kobe's the beast.
Rudy was talking about the Bengals. Is it time to freak out? I don't think so. Still early. A lot of these teams. And I feel like they spent all that money, so it should come about.